Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Erskine Bowles, and it is an honor for me as president of the University of North Carolina to welcome each of you here today to the installation of Dr. Ann Ponder as the sixth chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. Today's ceremony is something you're going to be able to feel in your heart. It is a time of great joy and celebration. We have come together today to both celebrate this campus's rich heritage and to affirm its unique mission as North Carolina's only public liberal arts university. All of our students here, you passed many of them as you came in, no matter where they come from or what their field of study, sharing a rigorous curriculum spanning the humanities, the natural sciences, the social sciences, and the arts. This shared experience, it challenges them to think critically. It guides them to express their ideas with clarity. And above all, it encourages them to develop their own values with respect for all individuals. What in the world could be more important than that? What better foundation for learning throughout life and for success in this knowledge-based global economy? All of us take tremendous pride in the national recognition that this great university has earned in its recent past. But as Chancellor Ponder well knows, I have very, very high expectations for even greater things to come under the good and great leadership of Dr. Ann Ponder. Now please stand for our national anthem, sung by a very proud sister and an Asheville native, Carol Ponder.
Thank you, sir. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous night o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Well, I'm sorry I have to follow that. Good afternoon. I'm Janice Brummett, and I'm the chair of the UNC Asheville Board of Trustees. It is an honor to welcome you to this important day in the history of the university. I have the pleasure to introduce to you a number of people whose support and leadership have made and continues to make UNC Asheville one of the preeminent universities in higher education today. We are deeply grateful to the members of the North Carolina General Assembly, the UNC Board of Governors, the Asheville City Council, the Buncombe County Commissioners who join us this afternoon and who will be introduced later in the program. I would like to ask my colleagues on the Board of Trustees to stand, and I'm pleased to introduce them to you today. Luther E. Barnhart, Jr., please stand. James R. Buckner, who is class of 72. Leslie H. Coleman, Sue H. McClinton, Douglas Orr, Sissy Stevens, Pamela Turner, John Noor, class of 2007, Michael S. Tanner, MLA, class of 2001 and secretary of our board, and Alfred J. Whitesides, Jr., vice chair. Equally important to the university are other volunteer boards whose counsel and support of the university's mission are invaluable. Representing the National Alumni Council is Audrey Bird Mosley, class of 1974. On behalf of the Foundation Board, Vice Chair Bob Roberts, and from the National Parents Council, Susan and Lowell Grable, the council's co-chairs. The university is also fortunate to have an outstanding administration. Representing these leaders are Provost Mark Padilla and Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Bill Haggard. I am pleased to welcome three important delegations to our proceedings this afternoon. We are honored that local, state, and national representatives of American higher education have joined us. Would our university, college, and learned society delegations please stand? Thank you. Our university exists for our students. Would students representing student government, academic departments and programs, student organizations, and intercollegiate athletics please stand? Finally, we are so pleased to have a delegation representing one of the university's largest constituents, its alumni. Today, we have representatives from UNC Asheville's predecessor colleges, Biltmore College and Asheville Biltmore College, as well as alumni representing each of UNC Asheville's graduating classes. Would you please stand? On behalf of the entire university community, I want to bid each of you welcome. I know for many of you, the installation is the kickoff of the event for the family weekend. We also want to celebrate those of you who have traveled significant distances to join us today in the celebration with special gratitude and welcome to the trustees and leadership of Colby Sawyer College and Ponders Former University. Thank you for coming. Thank you to all the students, faculty, staff, and members of the community who are assembled today. Through your presence, you honor the university. You honor the citizens of North Carolina whose commitment to higher education makes this university possible. And you honor the men and women who have dedicated their careers to making this university great. As I look among all of those gathered, I am mindful of the contributions previous generations have made. UNC Asheville is privileged to have a lineage of great leaders, and today we are fortunate to have two of those with us, Dr. David Brown, the university's second chancellor, and Dr. Samuel Schuman, the university's third chancellor. Would you please stand? And thank you for your important contributions to this remarkable institution. I also want to thank you to all of the people who have made this day possible. We offer our thanks to the Planning Committee and the hundreds of volunteers who made this day possible. We are truly grateful. America's great universities are partners with their communities, and UNC Asheville is no exception. It is my pleasure to welcome several representatives who will bring greetings on behalf of their constituencies. Each is noted in your program. And now, to bring greetings for the United States Congress and the people of Western North Carolina, I am pleased to welcome to the podium Honorable Congressman Charles H. Taylor.
Madam Chairman, what God hath wrought this beautiful day and this wonderful occasion. Greetings on behalf of the people of Western North Carolina and the United States of America. Ann Ponder, a fellow native Western North Carolina, and myself, I have joined over the years in trying to promote education in Western North Carolina. I am gratified that this chancellor that you're about to inaugurate is going to proceed with a wonderful history of this university in playing a part of Western North Carolina, not only in the education area, but in our economy. We are trying to forge throughout Western North Carolina with our universities, community colleges, and K through 12, a partnership with the economy, with technology for our students and our adults in Western North Carolina. By working through the Education Research Consortium, we've been able to provide dollars in a variety of areas, and University of North Carolina at Asheville has taken many of those dollars and done outstanding work with them, and we know that that's going to continue in the future. It's a great deal of pleasure. I welcome the new chancellor and the opportunities that we have with she and the school of the University of North Carolina at Asheville.
President Bowles, Dr. Ponder, honored guest, good afternoon. And on behalf of the North Carolina General Assembly, I bring you greetings and a warm, warm welcome. Please allow me to introduce other members of the General Assembly who are with us today. I'm Wilma Sherrill, and joining me is Senator Tom Apodaca. I'm sure that, please stand as I call your name. Representatives Bruce Goforth, Susan Fisher, Phil Hare, and Ray Rapp. The North Carolina General Assembly has long been committed to supporting higher education in North Carolina. I can tell you that we recognize how fortunate we are to have this UNC system, a system which does provide students with an excellent education. The General Assembly must never falter in that support. If we believe, as I believe we do, then the success of our state depends on our universities. They must have the funds necessary to employ the finest leadership, the best educators, as we are a growing state, and we're going to need additional classrooms, new programs, lots of advanced research, if we expect our youth to excel and survive in this global economy. I suspect you can tell how excited I am to be a part of Dr. Ponder's installation as chancellor of my most favorite university. UNC Asheville is unique in that its mission is to be our state's undergraduate liberal arts university. Dr. Ponder is the perfect person to continue that uniqueness and to lead us to heights that we've yet to see achieved. I hope you've had the opportunity to sit down with her and listen to her vision for this university, not only for the university, but for our students and for this community. I've had that opportunity, and that accounts for my excitement. Will you please join me in welcoming a Mountain Girl home? Thank you.
To the Board of Directors of the University of North Carolina at Asheville, to the faculty, staff, students, and community, good afternoon. I am Terry Bellamy, Mayor of the City of Asheville, and I'm here on behalf of the citizens of Asheville to offer this challenge to the new Chancellor, Dr. Ann Ponder. We believe that Asheville is a great city that has a great future. We believe that the University of North Carolina at Asheville is a great university that has a great future. Each of us can contribute to the excellence of the other. We trust you, Chancellor Ponder, to guide the university to reach an outcome that is unparalleled and unprecedented. We want to work with you, and we want you to work with us, the city of Asheville, to make this city and this university in the mountains of Western North Carolina to be a beacon of excellence for all the nation. Congratulations.
Good afternoon. I'm Nathan Ramsey, Chairman of the Buncombe County Board of Commissioners, and on behalf of the Board of Commissioners, Vice Chairman Bill Stanley, Commissioners David Young, Carol Peterson, and David Gant, and the good folks of this community, we want to welcome you here. It's a great honor for me to be here not only as a member of the Board of Commissioners, but also as a member of the class of 1989. It's hard to believe almost 20 years ago, this fall, it has been 20 years ago. My wife told me the other day I had a good bit of gray hair, and so time does seem like yesterday that I was a freshman on this campus. And I appreciated every year that I was here, the academic rigor, the fellowship with my fellow students, and the outstanding professors and faculty really did make this a great university. Chancellor Mullen, we were proud to work with him, and he did outstanding work for our community. And it's exciting to know that Chancellor Ann Ponder has come back home again. She has a long line of outstanding educators in this community. From her grandmother to her mother, all were teachers. And we know having outstanding teaching, outstanding scholarship makes a great liberal arts university. And for that, we're truly proud that this community boasts one of the nation's top liberal arts public universities. We look forward to working with UNCA to helping move our community forward so our young people can be educated here, have the skills that they need to compete in the world, and not just for economic attainment, but to be a better citizen, so they can truly make these mountains a place that we can all be proud of and that we will be people to match our mountains. Thank you so much, and thank you, Chancellor Ponder, for coming back to Buncombe County.
Good afternoon. I'm Pat Sullivan, the Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Greensboro, and it's my pleasure to bring greetings to Chancellor Ponder from her colleagues in American higher education. And I'd like especially to start with our colleague chancellors of the University of North Carolina. If you would please stand. Thank you. I also speak on behalf of the college and university presidents and chancellors who have joined together on this beautiful afternoon to congratulate and welcome Ann Ponder. Would my colleagues from other parts of American higher education please stand? Thank you. We are especially pleased to have colleagues within the University of North Carolina partnership with our community colleges spread all across this state. And certainly here in Asheville, partnerships between UNCA and Asheville Buncombe Technical Community College are important to the vibrancy of the community, its lively cultural scene, and its economic prosperity. Would our colleagues from the North Carolina Community College System please stand so we can recognize you? Thank you. President Bowles, Chancellor Ponder, on behalf of your colleagues, especially to Ann, we welcome you and we congratulate you on your inauguration as the Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. I think for many of us, Ann's example shows that indeed you can go home again and you can make your home a better place. You can make the cross between public and private and private and public, and strengthen and enrich all aspects of our academic enterprise. For UNC Asheville is indeed a very special institution. It has a clear, compelling, and cogent mission: education in the liberal arts. A very worthy and noble cause in and of itself, and for what it does for the empowerment of those who study in that tradition. It's special, it's distinctive. I think Ann Ponder is very special. For me, she's a wonderful model, and Wilma Dyckmans must have had her in mind when she wrote The Tall Woman many years ago. For she is intelligent, she is strong, she's determined. She goes about her work with a high sense of ethical and principled leadership. She is a visionary. She is steadfast while remaining practical and realistic. She understands, and deep in the marrow of her bones, she values the importance of education for its liberating effect on those who study. She admires and respects the academic calling of faculty to enlighten, encourage, and excite students. To do so in a process of free, open, lively inquiry, and to encourage the personal development of their students. She fosters collaboration, cooperation, and collegiality. I am very proud to have Ann as a colleague chancellor and as an academic colleague. I respect and admire her for her eloquence, her wit, that wonderful calm reserve, all of which were formed, nurtured, and shaped in these lovely mountains. Anne, on behalf of your academic colleagues and friends who have gathered here to honor you, we congratulate you, we wish you well as you lead and guide UNC Asheville to higher levels of achievement, a broad impact on people, and engagement with the community. You are the perfect person for this unique and distinctive institution. Congratulations and all our best wishes.
Good afternoon. I'm Jim Phillips, the chairman of the Board of Governors of the University of North Carolina, and it's my pleasure to bring you greetings from our board this beautiful afternoon. I'd like to take the opportunity and the pleasure of introducing several of our board members who are here with us today. Some are on the podium and some are in the audience. 3 are from Asheville: Adelaide Key, Carrie Owen, David Young, who perhaps is the only person introduced twice. I'd also like to introduce the former chairman of our board, Ben Ruffin from Winston-Salem, Peter Kieber from Charlotte, Leroy Lale from Hickory, Brent Beringer from Cary, and Derek Pantel, the student member of our board from North Carolina Central University. It is an exciting day for the members of our board when the right person is matched with the right campus, and that is what we celebrate today. From our board's perspective, governing the UNC system and trying to meet the different needs of the people of North Carolina, from these beautiful mountains to the bustling Piedmont to the coast, we see that each of our 16 universities, each of our 16 campuses, is different in strengths, in responsibilities, and in personality. But we on the Board of Governors recognize that UNC Asheville's role as this state's liberal arts university is unique. And we are committed to supporting and nurturing this university and that unique role. As we go about that, we are indeed fortunate to have Ann Ponder in the role of chancellor, a person who knows not only how to lead a liberal arts university, but who knows this city, this region, and this state. Ann, welcome home. And we're counting on you to tell us what you need to make UNC Asheville the best public liberal arts university in the country. Thank you.
My name is Audrey Bird Mosley. I am a member of the class of 1974. Good afternoon, President Bowes, Chancellor Ponder, distinguished platform guests, members of the faculty and staff of UNC Asheville, students and friends. It is with pride and pleasure I have returned to my alma mater to participate in this wonderful ceremony. For those of us who attended the university when it was both small in terms of its physical size and its student population, we have had the opportunity to observe the university grow and mature. The academic excellence, which has always been this institution's most enduring quality, is no longer North Carolina's best-kept secret. Today, our university is ranked as one of the top public liberal arts colleges in the nation. This achievement has been accomplished because the university has always had the good fortune to have as its leader a person with a vision for the university and its place in higher education. This tradition of growth and maturity, with an emphasis on academic excellence, will continue because Dr. Ann Ponder, like her predecessors, is a person who has a vision for how this institution should continue to improve and evolve. I've had the privilege of working with Dr. Ponder over the past year, and I look forward to a continuing working relationship with her and helping this university grow as we only hope it will. On behalf of the UNC Asheville alumni, it is my pleasure to extend a formal welcome to Dr. Ann Ponder on this, the occasion of her installation as Chancellor of our great university.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Nallon, and I'm the chair of the Faculty Senate. First, please join me in welcoming a faculty colleague from East Carolina University, Brenda Killingsworth. Brenda this year is the chair of the Faculty Assembly of the university. Today is the installation of Dr. Ann Ponder as the 6th chancellor in the history of our university. The first was Chancellor William Highsmith. Among his accomplishments are these. It was his vision that our school was to be a 4-year university. And second, it was due to his efforts that we are a part of the state university system. When I joined this faculty in 1988, our chancellor was David Brown. I am pleased that Dave is here with us today. Dave, you had the dream of a Center for Creative Retirement for our university. We have that, and we have the Reuters Center because of you. And Dave, you facilitated and supported the efforts of the faculty toward developing our humanities program, our emphasis on undergraduate research, and our program in health promotion and wellness. Chancellor Samuel Schuman was the university's 3rd chancellor. I am pleased that Sam is here with us today, and Sam, among your accomplishments, I note, your efforts led us to be reclassified as a liberal arts school, the only such school in the North Carolina system. And Sam, you doubled the size of the most important building on our campus, our library. And also, Sam, I note that whenever you spoke to the faculty, I needed to consult a dictionary later to look up some of the words you used. The next chancellor was Patsy Reed. Visitors to this campus seem always to remark on the ambiance of our campus, its handsomeness, its beauty. This includes flowers, landscaping, signs, and flags. It was important to Chancellor Reed that this campus be handsome and beautiful, and she made this happen to our benefit. The 5th chancellor was James Mullen, Jr. Jim is a lifelong sportsman and sports lover, and he challenged all of us, students, faculty, staff, and administrators, with a sports analogy, saying, "The bar is now higher. What was satisfactory before is no longer acceptable. We should all strive for excellence." Chancellor Ann Ponder, you are our 6th chancellor, and the faculty looks forward to many years of working with you toward many significant accomplishments. Thank you.
My name is Lynn Olin, and it is my privilege to bring greetings to our new Chancellor, Ann Ponder, on behalf of the staff of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. I'm delighted by this opportunity to represent this excellent group of people. No 20-something-year-old sets out to become the longest-serving member of any staff. It happens when you're not looking. It happens when you find yourself in an environment that both nurtures and challenges you among people you respect and admire. Sometimes you find that place early in your life. 45 years ago, on another September day, the small 2-year community college, which would evolve into the University of North Carolina, Asheville, welcomed the first 484 students to a brand new campus. A new road curled its way up to a meadow which held 2 new structures, Phillips Hall and Rhodes, half of what we now know as called Robinson Rhodes Hall. Classrooms, registrar, financial offices, administration, and library all crowded into those 2 buildings. That first day was a momentous achievement against staggering odds, both for college staff and for those in the wider community who had worked so hard to make that day happen. But for those 484 students, it was all about the excitement of new beginnings. It was truly a day marked by great expectations. I know, I was one of those students. We were all commuter students then, no dormitories. We had physical education classes at the downtown Wise, and we cheered our basketball team in a local high school. No playing field, no gym. We ate lunch from vending machines and hung streamers for dances in the basement of Rhodes Hall. No dining hall, no student center. Sound bleak? It wasn't. It was making new friends. It was small classes with dedicated, inspired faculty who knew our names, recognized our faces. It was a caring staff who went the extra mile. It was our college experience, and we were part of something new, something significant. When I returned to the campus in the mid-'60s as a member of the library staff, my 2-year community college had already matured into a fully accredited 4-year institution. A village of small dormitories, a gym, a student center, and the first generation of the Ramsey Library gave substance to the campus. In short order, the college became the University of North Carolina at Asheville, and later, the designated liberal arts institution of the 16-campus UNC system. Over the years, buildings went up, others were torn down. Renovation now seems a constant component of campus life. Card catalogs yielded to electronic databases, bulky periodicals to clicks on the computer, ledger books to spreadsheets, mimeograph to email. But one element has remained constant and contributes to UNCA's ability to attract outstanding students, faculty, and staff of diverse cultural backgrounds. A common dedication to creating a warm and supportive atmosphere for learning. Today, as we celebrate another beginning, it's appropriate to recognize those members of the Chancellor's Search Committee whom we trusted to attract a leader to guide UNC Asheville to its rightful place among the finest liberal arts universities in the country. As I call out your name, please stand and receive our appreciation. Sue McClinton, then Chair of the Board of Trustees. Gwen Ashburn, faculty. Jim Buckner, then National Alumni Advisory Council, now also Board of Trustees. Jeff Cones, faculty. Gary Nyland, faculty. Scott Schaefer, staff. Connie Schaller, staff. Lavoy Spooner, UNCA Foundation. Mike Tanner, Board of Trustees and alumnus. Charles Tolley, then Board of Trustees. Pam Turner, Board of Trustees. Al Whitesides, Board of Trustees. Portia Yunt, then Student Government Association. The staff of UNC Asheville eagerly looks forward to working with Chancellor Ann Ponder to meet the challenges and the opportunities that our dynamic world will bring. We do so with great expectations.
Before proceeding with the formal installation of Dr. Ponder, we are really blessed to have the opportunity to hear from a man who has been Ann Ponder's mentor throughout her professional career. A summa cum laude graduate of Princeton University, Dr. Phil Jordan also holds master's and doctoral degrees in history from Yale University. He is President Emeritus of Kenyon College and is a former member of the Board of Trustees at Colby Sawyer, where Chancellor Ponder served as president for a decade before returning home to Asheville. Nationally, Dr. Jordan has chaired the American Council of Education, served on the Board of Trustees of the National Association of Independent Colleges and Universities, and been a fellow at the Foundation for Independent Higher Education. Please join me in welcoming Ann Ponder's mentor, Dr. Philip H. Jordan.
Thank you, President Bowles, for that generous introduction, and all of you for this warm North Carolina welcome. I am highly honored and personally privileged to speak at the installation of the 6th Chancellor at this distinguished public liberal arts university, the University of North Carolina at Asheville. I am all the more honored and all the more privileged because my presence here may easily seem improbable and my message may appear to be redundant. Imagine summoning a Yankee former college president from an island off the coast of Maine, our northernmost state, to these southern mountains to speak on behalf of a native daughter of North Carolina. Imagine bringing a speaker far from Asheville to commend to you, who knew her way back when, and on this campus as chancellor for a year, a leader whose return to this place is a homecoming. But I protest that reputation. I do have modest claims to respectability in North Carolina, which means that I have kin here. My wife's father grew up in and often returned to Robertsonville, east of here in tobacco and peanut country, and that's always been known in our family as down home. And my wife has a Master of Fine Arts degree from Warren Wilson College in this mountain neighborhood where she went to camp as a girl. And after these festivities, we'll be visiting family in a kind of homecoming for us. Not entirely a stranger to these parts, and certainly no stranger to your chancellor, I am happy to present to you someone you already know. And some of you have known her from her Asheville girlhood. During her years away from home in the far wildernesses of Ohio and New Hampshire, she spoke often of growing up in Asheville and told us that she was known here as Little Ann Ponder from way over yonder. I understand that title was coined by a friend who was in the audience this afternoon. And it is the way over yonder parts of Little Ann Ponder's distinguished career in higher education that I know best and want to talk about. During her education and early professional experience, Ann Ponder's over yonderness grew more distant from Asheville. There were her studies at Chapel Hill. There was her teaching and administering at Elon and Guilford colleges in North Carolina. And then came her really way over yonder phase at Kenyon College in Ohio, where I first knew her, and at Colby Sawyer College in New Hampshire. And now you have the very good fortune to have called her back home to Asheville as a widely known and admired leader in national higher education. I have known Ann Ponder well, way over yonder, as a fellow worker in academe, first as her president, later as one of her trustees. There are 3 distinctive features of your new chancellor's leadership that I want to make sure you know about in case you have not already glimpsed them. First, Dr. Ann Ponder is, as she hopes all of her students here will become, a lifelong learner who readily passes along her learning. Second, your new chancellor is gifted in seeing the big picture and fitting smaller elements into it. She is gifted in strategic thinking and action. And third, the mature and accomplished and not so little Ann Ponder, while deeply rooted in her native North Carolina, has been a faithful colleague and friend wherever she works. She wins the minds and hearts and energies of students and faculty, staff and administrators, trustees and public officials, enlisting them all in their own and the institution's advancement. Speaking from my own experience, from observing or reading about other presidents, from working with Ann Ponder, I can say that the rewards of a campus presidency or chancellorship are not the gratifications of power. The rewards come rather from perceiving potential, from articulating vision, from encouraging consensus, from realizing possibility, and from seeing the academic community you lead improve, grow, and prosper. and the college president or chancellor does not perceive, articulate, encourage, realize, or celebrate alone. The campus president learns from the whole college, internal and external. The chancellor is always learning, always asking the right questions, always refining the vision that animates the campus, always seeking the right path among the diverse pieces of advice so readily and constantly offered. Chancellor Ponder is a veteran and skilled practitioner of this kind of leadership. Your new chancellor leads in a language and style born and bred in Asheville. An initiative that she undertakes is something that she's affixing to do. A campus controversy that raises hackles is a swivet. A new thought she puts forward is Ponder's wild idea of the day, or PWID. Eschewing academic jargon, your chancellor prefers ponderisms, which are never ponderous but always on point. And if I speak to you too long, you will develop what she calls fossil bottom. I was, in a sense, a mentor to Ann Ponder as she rose in college administration. But that mentorship was never hierarchical. It was always reciprocal. We learned from each other, and she became a partner in the enterprise. Later, as a college president herself, she was mentor to individual colleagues with talent and promise, and to the whole campus community, sharing what she had learned, learning from the learners. Plainly, you here at UNC Asheville are embarking with a new mentor on an era of flourishing collegiality. Leaders in higher education must look beyond the immediate, the problems and opportunities of the moment, to discern and shape the longer future. They must think and act strategically, leading their campuses to join them in thoughtful planning. Now, skeptics, and skeptics are everywhere, may readily fear that the planning exercise is an unwelcome and unproductive distraction from the core enterprise of the college, which is, of course, teaching and learning. But since the society that colleges serve and colleges themselves are constantly changing, teaching and learning will change, either willy-nilly or by design. Strategic planning examines the likely trajectory of change, identifies the threats and opportunities that lie ahead, appraises the capacities of the institution, and devises strategies for success. Properly done, Ponder style, planning is a value-laden, intellectual, practical, and enjoyable endeavor which engages the whole campus and guides the whole campus in pursuit of a compelling vision for the future. Planning with Ponder raises sights and spirits and focuses efforts and resources. The product is not Ponder's plan, it's your plan. The campus president, as magnanimous mentor and prescient planner, will not succeed in either unless students and faculty, administration and staff, alumni and trustees are enlisted and engaged. And on this Asheville campus, the chancellor need not be a remote personage, since you all may know the chancellor and be known by the chancellor. Your new chancellor has a strong sense of community, a commitment to colleagueship, an instinct for the personal dimension of professional relationships. You will be serving your university well and enhancing your own experience if you accept her invitations for participation, for working together, for friendship, along with the roles you must play in the university community. Wherever she has worked, Ann Ponder has taken the values and expectations for social relations that she must have learned here in Asheville and lived by these on the college campuses she has served and led. In case you doubt this, take note of the ample invasion by New England Yankees who have come to celebrate this installation. You see, when your chancellor says, y'all come and see us sometime, we know she means it. It will not be hard for you to let your hearts and minds be won by her as your leader, who wishes nothing more than for each of you to receive your best education, to do your best work, to succeed together among these place. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan. It's easy to see why you were such a great mentor for Ann, for I learned something from you. I knew Ann Ponder was a real leader. I knew Ann Ponder was a visionary. I even knew Ann Ponder has a great strategic mind. And yes, I too have already received some P-WIDs, although I didn't know that's what they were called. But what I never knew, and what I will be so grateful to have learned from you, is that she was little Ann Ponder from way over yonder. That will be very valuable. For more than 200 years, the state of North Carolina has recognized the importance of higher education in improving the lives and the well-being of our citizens. Over that long history, the university has achieved real national prominence for the quality of our academic programs and for the loyalty that binds the people of this great state to their public university. The visionary leaders of this community of Asheville, building on the accomplishments of UNC Asheville's predecessor institutions, believed that Asheville, yes, Asheville, could create a university as distinctive within higher education as these mountains are within the state of North Carolina. A city that could inspire a Thomas Wolfe and attract a George Vanderbilt could certainly build a university of statewide and even national scope. And that is exactly what you all did. Of the more than 3,000 colleges and universities in our country today, only 215 of them are liberal arts institutions, and only 22 of those are public. The University of North Carolina at Asheville was one of the very first, and today it is without question one of our nation's very finest. I know that UNC Asheville is in the hearts of the people of Western North Carolina, but it is also true that the people throughout our state truly love and respect this wonderful place. And I believe that is so because it has never lost touch with the people it was founded to serve. Now I am happy to turn to the formal installation of Dr. Ann Ponder as the 6th Chief Executive Officer of this great institution. Today's ceremony is a symbolic compact, a compact between you, those of you here, the faculty, the staff, students, alumni, and trustees, and your new chancellor. In Ann Ponder, you have gained a strong leader, a leader who has a deep understanding and love of this place, and a leader who fully appreciates its vast potential for even greater service to this region and to the state of North Carolina. Asheville is her home, and you are her extended family. We are truly blessed to have Ann Ponder back home in North Carolina. In the years ahead, she's going to need both your support and your guidance. I assure you, she will have my full confidence and support. I would now like to ask the Honorable Harry C. Martin, Associate Justice of the North Carolina Supreme Court and a lifelong friend of the Ponder family, to come forward to administer the oath of office. Justice Martin also serves as the Chief Justice of the Eastern Band of the Cherokee Nation, and today he proudly wears the vestments of that high office. Also joining us on the podium are Ms. Brument and members of Chancellor Ponder's family, her husband Christopher Brookhouse, and two very, very proud parents, Eleanor and Herschel Ponder. Please come forward.
Dr. Ponder, would you please place your left hand on the Bible and raise your right? Do you, Ann Ponder, solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States, that you will bear true and faithful allegiance to the state of North Carolina and support its Constitution, not inconsistent with the Constitution of the United States, to the best of your knowledge and ability? And in entering the responsibilities of the office of Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville, do you undertake to fulfill its duties without fear or favor, to cherish and encourage sound scholarship and the search for truth, and to dedicate this university to the intellectual development of a moral and enlightened citizenship? Do you further promise to dedicate this university to the service of the people of the great state of North Carolina, and that you will well and truly execute the duties of Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville, according to law, to the best of your skill and ability, so help you God?
I do.
I congratulate you so much.
Chancellor, it is now our pleasure to bestow upon you the investments of the office of Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. The Chancellor's hood, adorned with the colors of the university, is a symbol of your commitment to the rigorous pursuit of knowledge. Chancellor, this medallion, designed by the members of UNC Asheville's faculty and cast in precious metals, serves as a symbol of your authority as Chancellor. Dr. Ponder, as Chancellor, you will have the great privilege and enormous responsibility of leading UNC Asheville to a stronger future, and I pledge to you my full support and confidence. Friends of the university, it is now my great pleasure and high honor to present to you the sixth Chancellor of the University of North Carolina at Asheville, Dr. Ann Ponder.
Thank you. Thank you, my friends and colleagues. Thank you all for being with us today as we celebrate this important transition in the life of the University of North Carolina at Asheville. As the individual who is doing the transitioning, I hope you'll allow me to extend a personal welcome and thank you to so many friends of mine and of the universities who have taken the time to join us at this ceremony today. And I want to allow us to recognize you for that. In the audience today are members of my immediate and extended family, parents, siblings, relatives close and distant, Friends for decades are here. There are many in this audience who knew me when I was a girl. These are the folks who remember the brief time in my life when I was actually shorter than most people around me. There are also teaching colleagues, graduate school friends, longtime mentors, honors colleagues, extraordinary people I have worked with, former students, fellow mystery lovers, and bicycling friends from all around the country. There are people here from Beaver Lake to the Block, from Biltmore Forest to Burnsville, from Swannanoa to Silva. But UNC Asheville's installation of a new chancellor has also brought educators and those who care about higher education from Fargo and Fayetteville, from Lake Sunapee and Lake Lure, from New York and New Bern, from Washington, D.C. and Wilmington. It is a true joy and an honor to be the reason that we're all here in this place together today, from all across this state and from all across the country. So that all of us can recognize you, I would like you to stand. If you have ever invited me to dinner at your house, if you have studied with me or worked with me or coached me or taught me or served as a trustee or a colleague at other colleges and universities that I have served, or if you're related to me. And in short, if you have known me for longer than a year and cared enough about UNC Asheville to come to this university today, please stand. It's no wonder I already feel as if I belong here. We have also heard from many others here today who brought greetings and blessings to our campus from the many constituent groups who have supported and encouraged our university over the years. Thank you for joining us here today, and thank you for your continued support and goodwill on behalf of our university. This year, 2006, is the University of North Carolina at Asheville's 80th year. 80 years ago, when my parents were themselves just children, the visionaries who were busily founding our university in the 1920s are now long gone. About 40 years ago, when we were awarding our first baccalaureate degree and we were preparing our campus to take its place within the University of North Carolina system, Bill Friday and Chancellor Highsmith and the Landon Robertses and the Rhodes family and Louis Lipinski and Virginia Dameron and John Reynolds and Manley Wright and Bruce Elmore were among the many who were there. Some of these founders or their descendants are here today with us. These founders, in their wisdom and vision, were preparing us for this day here at UNC Asheville. I know that I express for all of us today a profound gratitude to those of you who recognize that Asheville needed a university, that our citizens of North Carolina all across the state were ready for a campus with this distinctive vision, and that North Carolina deserved the finest public liberal arts university anywhere. What was begun in the years before the Great Depression as an essential education for local folk became a premier educational opportunity for students throughout the region. Now, of course, UNC Asheville students come from all across the state to North Carolina's public liberal arts university, known nationally for our academic quality, especially in the liberal arts and sciences. Our humanities program, our integrative liberal studies program, and our undergraduate research program are admired as the finest anywhere. I do not need to recite for you the wide array of distinctions and placements UNC Asheville earns each year in the national rankings for quality and value. We are pleased, but not surprised, when the rest of the academic community and those who make it their business to monitor the academic community recommend UNC Asheville to each successive generation of students. Today, as we come together to celebrate the true splendor of our university, I urge you to notice the many ways that we at UNC Asheville practice, in fact, live the liberal arts tradition. This week, as we celebrated this transition for our university, our abundant creativity and academic excellence are made manifest. Literary readings by our distinguished faculty and visitors, commemorations of important historical events, tours of green buildings that have earned us statewide awards for energy conservation and sustainability, highlights from the nationally acclaimed North Carolina Center for Creative Retirement, hundreds of students volunteering in ACT in Asheville, student art exhibitions, family weekend, an original play that itself embodies the liberal arts in its collaboration among writers, dancers, musicians, and the most ancient of Sumerian tales. Business and political and economic leaders sharing their expertise with us. Mountain traditions, vibrant music, the beauty of our campus and the setting for learning it provides, and the ongoing involvement of longtime friends, neighbors, alumni, and supporters. And then there are the hundreds of students, faculty, and staff who have been collaborating with each other for weeks to bring this marvelous celebration to our university. The liberal arts and the interdisciplinary habit of mind are more than what we do. It is who we are, and it is what we teach. It is our conviction that a liberal arts education, UNC Asheville style, is our greatest single tool in uncovering the long-term solutions to the most significant threats to the well-being of our state and nation. In her poem entitled The Long Approach, the poet Maxine Kumin has described this particular brand of living out a purpose. As she tells us, I'm going home the old way, with a light hand on the reins, making the long approach. Nowhere in higher education is there a better example of how best to make the long approach, to find the long-term solutions, than in the liberal arts. One of our newly tenured faculty members, Horace Maxiel, has a new baby born this summer, a child named Nathan. Given what we know today and what we will come to know in the decades ahead, it is highly likely that this child will live to see the 22nd century. What kind of education will we offer? What kind of university will we be? Will we need to be in order to prepare him for the long approach? By way of an answer, I will refer us to another poet, Wendell Berry. Because the new chancellor is a literature major, you should be forewarned that there will almost always be poetry in our midst. I would like to read to you today Wendell Berry's poem entitled, What We Need Is Here. Geese appear high over us, pass, and the sky closes. Abandon as in love or sleep holds them to their way, clear in the ancient faith. What we need is here. And we pray, not for new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and in eye clear. What we need is here. What we need to prepare Nathan Maxiel and all of our children for the long approach is here. To describe this more fully, I'd like to draw from two important campus initiatives and conversations. One is the Enrollment Growth Task Force, a group of campus leaders with whom I have been working for the past year to help determine the optimal size for our university for the foreseeable future. The other is the University Community Council, a group I convened in my first week as chancellor and one that conducted dozens of conversations this past spring with all constituent groups of the university. What we have learned in recent months from these two groups enthusiastically supports Wendell Berry's and our claim that what we need is here. We, at the University of North Carolina, currently hold within our midst just about everything we need to become the premier public liberal arts university in the country. We have on our campus some of the most talented, engaging, interesting students anywhere. We have a world-class faculty with scholarly interests and achievements that are matched only by their commitment to a superb academic experience for our students. We have an innovative curriculum that is as lively as it is challenging, and one that sets our students on a lifetime journey to discover after they graduate even more of what they learned in their time with us. Our campus community includes staff and administrators who are passionate and involved, fully committed to our role in the development of the people and the economy of our region and the great state of North Carolina. We also embody the homegrown mountain determination of our region, doing splendid work even when resources are meager, turning to what my grandfather used to call general cussedness into a virtue in time of great need. Together, our university community shares a purposeful commitment to learning, diversity, equity, trust, and integrity, with a growing sense of what it means to be responsible citizens and thoughtful stewards of a vibrant university community. Our Board of Trustees are active participants in the life of the university, and we know they will continue to guide us with integrity and compassion. We are part of a university system that supports and encourages us while challenging us to remain unique in an increasingly standardized world. President Bowles has made it clear that UNC Asheville will remain distinctive among all the campuses of the university as our statewide liberal arts university. The vibrant and creative city of Asheville mirrors so much of what we value and enhances the experience of all who work and study here. At the University of North Carolina at Asheville, we are at Asheville, in Asheville, and for Asheville, a city that has been a vital component of our development as we evolved into the University of North Carolina, Asheville, a university of statewide import and national prominence. We have, in addition to all that, the beauty and the ruggedness of these western North Carolina mountains, which sometimes nourish us and sometimes challenge us, but always leave us grateful for the place we are on this earth. We have a history that is recent enough to remind us every day of the promise of our founders and the need to remain vigilant in our stewardship of this precious enterprise we engage in together. What we need is here. A curriculum that sets the national standard for liberal arts innovation. A selectivity of students which is comparable to the finest and most selective private and public colleges and universities in our state. A university community intentionally designed to assure that we know and care about each other. And a landscape, a place that is as close to paradise as any earthbound place we know. What we need is here. Within our reach are the remaining factors that will help us become the kind of university that others have started and that we have been building for 80 years. We are poised and we are ready. Now a university of national caliber, serving academically accomplished North Carolinians statewide, the University of North Carolina at Asheville continues to resolve and focus on the education and development of individual students. It is entirely appropriate, then, that our ceremony today start and end with students. Just before we sing the alma mater, we will hear from the president of our Student Government Association, John Knorr. He is intentionally in the preferred position of final speaker. He frames this ceremony with other student leaders, those who led the procession at the beginning of the ceremony. And so it is at UNC Asheville. Horace's child, Nathan, and all our children deserve the quality educational environment in which UNC Asheville students like John Knorr have come to thrive. Nathan's well-being and our obligation to him and to children throughout North Carolina is our concern, our greatest and most urgent concern. At UNC Asheville, we know what we must do. Nowhere is there a more useful enterprise, nowhere a more pertinent preparation. A liberal arts and sciences education is valuable, not merely within an economic definition of prosperity, but as the preparation, the investment that children of today will need for the world they will find, the world they will make in the remainder of this century. Here at UNC Asheville, we as educators and as liberal arts and sciences thinkers become catalysts for economic and social development, especially the development of human capacity. In his newest thinking, Thomas Friedman, the author of The World is Flat, predicts that people from all over the world will soon compete, collaborate, do business, and solve problems in significant new ways. In his new work, he outlines 3 requirements for those who will fill the roles of the future. Those 3 requirements are knowing how to learn, high emotional intelligence, and a facility for creativity and analysis in equal measure. So you see, it is not just literature majors and UNC Asheville faculty and anguished poets who hold the liberal arts in such sacred esteem. We are hearing the urgent call from the most progressive economists, business leaders, and thinkers for educated individuals who can collaborate, leverage, negotiate, synthesize, explain, reason, and adapt. These are all byproducts, all demonstrable outcomes of a liberal arts education. The excellence and appropriateness and power of a liberal arts education is not a short-term goal. The economy and the leverage provided by a liberal arts education is so crucial, it deserves the weight and the force that is only available by taking the long approach. What is the opportunity then which is distinctively ours in this place? We at UNC Asheville have refined the practice of an intellectual, engaged, inclusive, and vital community, a community that is small enough so that you don't have to be chancellor to be effective in the classroom or on campus. Together, we, the members of UNC Asheville, have a clarity of purpose that will sustain us. Together, we will refine our ideas, deepen our purpose, and hone our resolve. We at UNC Asheville will do what we do best, partnering with our university system and our schools and community colleges to meet the needs of the great state of North Carolina. We can bring home to Asheville and North Carolina what the rest of the academic world already knows about us. Now is our time, this decade and the next. This is our chance and our challenge. With Erskine Bowles as president of our university system, we will do our part to assure that North Carolina continues to be the state where the weak grow strong and the strong grow great. UNC Asheville will follow President Bowles' inaugural advice when he said, we will take off these robes, roll up our sleeves, go to work, and succeed. As Wendell Berry says, what we need is here. To the people gathered today, people who are great educators, people of influence, people of promise, all inspired to love and care for our university. I am honored to lead and serve our university. We are grateful for all of you and for every aspect of this great university, and we are confident in our future at the University of North Carolina at Asheville. What we need is here. From here, from these very steps of our library, from here we can see Pisgah, a beloved mountain landmark which orients our university's quadrangle, but also a biblical symbol of promise and possibility for our students now and in the future, for our city, Asheville, and the distinctive destiny which blesses all who come here. We claim this destiny and this place for our university. What we need is here. Generations before us and generations ahead deserve and expect the finest we can offer. It will require patience and resolve to maintain our commitment to the long-term solutions, to follow the beacon of our liberal arts tradition in making the long approach. Strong, rooted, ours, now, right here at the University of North Carolina at Asheville. And we pray, not for new earth or heaven, but to be quiet in heart and an eye clear. What we need is here.
Good afternoon. As the Chancellor had already introduced me, my name is John Knorr, and I serve as the Student Government President here at UNC Asheville. It is my pleasure at this time to formally welcome Dr. Ponder as our new Chancellor. As I think about the opportunities that will develop with the installation of our new Chancellor, I cannot help but wonder about the role that UNC Asheville will play in higher education nationwide. With a more competitive global workplace into which our graduates enter and must compete for jobs, there is little debate that a degree from a liberal arts university has become more important now than ever before. The challenges of a complex global society only make the mission of UNC Asheville ever more important. As a liberal arts university, we not only develop graduates whose minds are filled with knowledge, but also adults who have the skills to apply and adapt that intellect into new and innovative ideas. But the mission of UNC Asheville is also the mission of our state. Creating graduates who work well in teams, innovate and modernize methods of production, and create new industries is the responsibility of our entire university system. Luckily, it is our blessing in North Carolina to have a legislature which understands and embraces this university's mission, and a constitution which makes it a priority that the people of North Carolina have access to higher education at a price as low as is practicable. As we stand here at the beginning of a new chapter in the history of UNC Asheville, I know that through the leadership of Dr. Ponder, the influence and impact of this university will grow to new heights. Because of her roots to this region, I also know that the citizens of Western North Carolina will always find UNC Asheville to be a place where they are greeted with open arms and provided with a quality education to address the problems which are unique to this beautiful part of our great nation. I extend my sincere thanks to those who have come here today to offer their greetings and support to our new Chancellor and University. Your presence has made today a truly memorable event. I am honored at this time to welcome Dr. Ponder into our university community. Your successes are now ours to share. your struggles ours to support, and your life ours to be a part of. I know that the example which you will set with our university will be one that only will bring pride to the people of North Carolina. Dr. Ponder, welcome home. Once again, thank you for being here for this special part of a very important day in the history of our university. I want to offer our special thanks to David Wilkin and the Classic Touch Orchestra for their outstanding concert before the ceremony, and to the Asheville Brass Quintet who played music for the processional and will play music for the recessional as well. To close this afternoon's program, the UNC Asheville Brass Quintet, under the direction of John Ince, and the University Singers under the direction of Melody Galloway, will lead us in the Alma Mater, the words of which are printed in your program. Following the Alma Mater, please remain standing until the platform party, faculty, and delegates have recessed. Afterwards, you are invited to join us behind the library for an old-fashioned mountain picnic. Now, would you please stand and join the University Singers as they lead us in the UNC Asheville Alma Mater.